fue el plan para ustedes poder contrarrestar el ataque de Austin?
Sí, sabíamos el potencial que tenía Austin. Creo que lo primordial creo que era mantener las líneas cerradas.
¿Cuándo empezó la planeación para poder competir en los cuatro torneos y ganar partido tras partido?
No, creo que eso es base de día a día. Creo que nos enfocamos primeramente en el rival que tenemos. No, no importa si es la local o la internacional.
Esto es Otra, por favor. This is One More, please. What if this is just like a made up thing? Or what if I already passed away at some point and I just don't realize it?
Right.
Like,
it's like some Black Mirror
I
stuff.
think about that shit
all the time.
It's weird, dude.
I do too, especially right now that I have too much time to think.
Yeah, the more time to think, or the like more tired you are, it's just it invites weird thoughts like that. Like you're driving, you're like, driving is so dangerous. It just takes one little moment, it's over.
Y de repente, mocos. Have you ever been in a situation where you're about to fall asleep and then you think of one thing
Every day,
and then it just becomes a circle of things that lead to like a trail of memories of you're like, okay, I started from, thinking about this circle that was red, and then it turned into why Austin FC should fire or keep Wolf.
No, I usually, like, if I sleep on a thought, I dream about that thought.
Yeah.
Like now that I'm about to fly out on Thursday, I'm dreaming about packing and flying out.
Have you seen
my anxiety?
Have you seen Doctor Strange?
I feel that.
¿Cómo se llama? Doctor Strange, the multiverse of madness.
I think so.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that, but I did see Everything Everywhere All at Once
I have not.
Dealt with different multiverses and realities and dimensions of things.
I think for me, there's something out there that they always say there's always like when you dream, I feel like it's someone out there actually living in a different place. That is you.
You think that's an alternative dimension?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the galaxy is huge. I'm pretty sure we're not the only ones.
So you give dreams like that type of meaning?
Yeah.
How do you perceive dreams? What do you give a meaning? Do you have like?
It depends on the dream. Because sometimes I don't know. It's just so weird. I'll give you an example. Like when my dad passed away, I hadn't dreamed about him in so long. I think it was like 6 weeks. And then I don't know where he was just like, it's okay. I'm fine. And I was like, whoa, that's weird.
Yeah.
But I will say that our TV turned on before. So because his body had to be transferred to Mexico, we felt like his spirit was still there. And the TV turned on like at 3 a.m. On TUDN, where we would usually.
Wow.
I mean, it was probably on that channel, but still, it was like 60, 90. I don't know. It was really loud. I don't know. So I believe in all that. I really do believe. But I do also think like, I mean, there's other universes. I don't know. Planets. I don't know. That's way too deep.
All of that stuff fascinates me. Like this life, the afterlife, the in between, dreams, sleep, perception. All that stuff is like my jam. That's why I'm so obsessed with sleep. Like sleeping, that's kind of ties into
the
topics. Do I nap?
A lot.
I usually nap involuntarily. Like I'm like dozing off.
Yeah, I've seen him nap before.
Yeah. We've been out on like on a boys' night, and I get a little 5-minute nap in while nobody's talking to me. But
he's just like that.
He's just so tired. He wakes up like at 5 a.m. and goes to sleep like at 10 p.m. 11,
basically.
12.
Yeah, typically 4 a.m. wake ups and 10 p.m. 10:30 sleeps. But man, what you were talking about earlier with your dad and having some type of presence, I felt too with my grandmother in my mom's house in Houston, the last place that she lived in. You just hear like the doors opening sometimes, like or a light come on, or something strange. I mean, we've talked about it as a family. Like, yeah, her presence is still here somehow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But it's not scary.
It's not scary. It's more reassuring. I don't know if you felt the same for that message that your dad had for you in your dream.
Yeah.
It's
it
more
wasn't
like
scary.
It's
That's
more
good.
like it's kind of nice in a weird way.
Right.
Yeah. But dude, I could talk about this for hours. So we should probably talk about. No, but one last thing about dreams. I think dreams are ways that your brain prepares you for trauma or different phases of life. Like sometimes you dream, you have a nightmare, una pesadilla, or sometimes you have a good dream, but your brain is preparing you for those things to happen. Not necessarily that they're gonna happen, but if they do, you're prepared to handle them emotionally.
That's a good way to put it. And I would say I agree. I agree because some of my dreams have been, I mean, I guess, not I guess, but I think God like preparing you for what's gonna happen. I mean, going through like a lot of shit, you're like, okay, this is gonna happen, and and you just like when it hits, it doesn't hit as hard. Like say, que si no lo sueñas, like you always envision yourself in places, like that's one thing. Like dreams can also help you envision.
That's right.
A place like
100% agree.
Sometimes or it can give you the feeling, okay, if for me is sometimes if a dream is like pretty bad, like you're in a low place, it kind of gives you like that, hey, could be you si no te ponen las pilas.
Have you ever tried writing, like creating a
I
dream?
thought you were going to say ayahuasca or ayahuasca. Or
hey,
I have
maybe
it.
tal vez this weekend. I don't know. Nah. Yeah, I've never written down your dreams.
No, I usually don't. I just usually tell my brother.
I gotcha.
Guess what? This is weird.
Because they say if you make that a practice, you can become a lucid dreamer. And when you're a lucid dreamer, you can control where your dreams go.
But then again, it takes away the surprise of, now know what's going to happen in the dream, Like I want to go to sleep, like just dreaming. I mean, I just want to go like in a place where, I don't know, like it kind of would take away from that surprise.
Yeah. No, I see what you have a point there. And this has been a huge dream sleep tangent. This is definitely a Koke episode.
Koke back in college taking philosophy.
Oh man, that was a great class.
Yeah.
You took philosophy?
I took like some type of intro.
Nice.
I did. I was like, what the? I was like, this is way too.
I've actually gotten into some philosophy like podcast or people like from Mexico, and some of the stuff is kind of like
not Andrew Tate.
Nah,
Oh,
hell no. No, like say.
He's like, I'm about to beat you up, fool.
And then I have like a cigar, and then that's why I got bald headed. Nah, it's Diego Rosarin is, I think, in the Spanish speaking world, he's pretty well known in Mexico, and he has like podcasts about philosophy. But a lot of the time, like one thing that I got from him that made sense is sometimes it's like, you know what? Sometimes it's good to have a conversation, like, and that's true. It's like you kind of have to just agree to disagree, or when you believe in something, it's like, why do you believe in that? Because sometimes when you ask yourself why, you're gonna go back to yourself and you're like, do I actually do believe in that, or do I don't really believe in that?
Mm-hmm.
And that could just be in general. So, but it makes a good like a good amount of like. Sometimes I like listening, like I hear people listen, and just what they say, and it makes it's different because it's not talking about like you're just talking about like stuff in life, and you get to like, okay, take a break from everything and just focus on, why do you think that way?
Mm-hmm.
But it's pretty cool. And also like if you sell Herbalife, that guy would debate with you and pretty much put you to shame.
He said Herbalife. I said what? That's funny. Yeah, no, dreams are trippy. But I don't know. I guess a lot of people dreamed that Austin FC was going to be really good this season.
Well,
and that's a dream right there too.
The lie detector test came in and determined that was false. We are not doing well.
Oh.
And I think people are starting to come around to reality and expressing their emotions and their feelings in different ways, and their thoughts and opinions in constructive ways and toxic ways in destructive ways. I mean, I've seen a lot of things, especially on social media and hearing reactions on different podcasts. And I think a lot of people are trying to reconcile what's been happening. How do y'all feel?
Dale, Michelle.
Well, it's hard because I don't just want to put it on one person, but I mean, the person that has to be on the hot seat for me and in my opinion is Josh Wolf. As I said, I mean, if he's not getting anything, if he continues in the way that or if he, meaning him and the team, continue the way that they are going, I don't see him staying here. But a lot of people felt like, oh, what are you talking about, front office? He is the front office. I mean, but I mean, there's owners, guys. I mean, there's
in reference to your tweet,
right? In
about
reference to my
pressure,
tweet, right? About pressure. I mean, I hope he's getting pressure because this is kind of, I don't want to say embarrassing, but it's just people are kind of thrown off, and especially, people that I know who are journalists from LAFC and cover them. They're like y'all really are struggling. And so you could see the holes.
It's easy to look from the LAFC champion perch
I know.
down at us peasants.
Right.
Oh man, y'all are struggling out there.
They even make jokes. They're like, y'all should give Violet players, and I'm like,
damn. Hey,
at this point, a couple of defenders at least.
Yeah.
Hey, way to kick a team when they're low, man.
Yeah, but it just seems like there's just like no real leadership in a way.
Yeah.
Like there was just a lot of moves done during the off season, and it seems like they're all kind of backfiring. There was a lot of expectation, but maybe not enough work put into those expectations. I don't know. I honestly, I'm kind of confused. I'm speechless. I mean, it's not looking good.
Yeah, definitely we're not there. We're not there to compete with the LAFCs of the MLS. Definitely. We got outclassed, despite, having some decent play against them, having possession and looking, like we were putting ourselves in good spaces and opportunities. Like their class and quality just outshined and eventually took over. And we didn't. Austin FC looked like they didn't have a way to answer, or it looked like they put their arms down almost a little bit. But it's hard when you play against a team like LAFC and a performance like Boanga who scored.
Oh my God!
Who scored hat tricks that I don't recall seeing a hat trick quite like this.
Yeah,
where every finish was impeccable.
Yep.
Like there was no better way to place it or put it on target.
Yeah, and I guess too, like just one example, as well as what I mean by what was done in the off season, like Pochettino, he just won a cup with his team, and you kind of question yourself. Okay, so it wasn't Pochettino who was the issue. Was it the formation and Josh Wolf's system?
Yeah,
and that's why he was excited to not even be here. Like he really didn't want to leave, according to reports. He didn't want to come back, Yeah.
Before I give my thoughts, I would say now and my take. Let's get some beers really quick.
Hey.
Okay, he's gonna have the best take. I'm just kidding.
The best take. We got some the Professor Pleasant IPA. That's la Ruffini. I think that one's like
that's cute.
Italian Pilsner. This is experimental IPA.
Nice.
Italy.
Architetto Ruffini.
Ándale ese güey.
Thank you, Hop Squad. Ooh, Italian Pilsner. I really am not trying to drink during the week, but I feel like I need a taste.
I think this one's gonna, this conversation will lead to a beer.
Shout out to our sponsors, Hop Squad.
Italian Pilsner. Architetto Ruffini.
Salud.
It's really good.
Salute.
Cheers.
Salute.
Cheers.
Salud.
Cheers.
Arriba la América. Pero
Blah.
I think I I think Josh Wolf is a, a coach that está confundido, and
Or
his
he's
confusion
inexperienced.
and experience, and both of those, that combination is literally not helping the cause, because right now in the press conferences he doesn't even know how to answer a question. He's talking about the he's talking about like, oh yeah, we need this, we need this, we need this, but like, okay, so how are you gonna do it? And then he starts praising Cherundulo and the 5 years work they've done at LAFC, and I'm like, dude, the focus is you and this loss right now. Like, what are you gonna do to fix it? Going back to what you said, like, there's no like inside like
Self-reflection.
self-reflection of, how can things get fixed. He keeps on talking about, the players, the this and that, but he never really talks about his system. What is not working in his system?
Right.
Who's not working in the system? I mean, doesn't have to point out names, but it's just more of, he doesn't know like how to really just assess the fact that his system is not working.
Yep.
How he planned last season, I think that the plan was great. The way it was executed was great, but towards the end, nos leyeron las jugadas los equipos. I mean, we struggled to win games at the end. The last season against Colorado, like the last game against Nashville and then Colorado, we basically didn't win those games. We tied against RSL and then went to the next round because of PKs. Dallas, we beat them. Good game. I think there was más pasión. Pero LAFC, it was like the same narrative as this weekend. No hicimos nada. And for me is, you can say the players have to do the work and this has to do the work, but a lot of times if you don't have a leader in the bench that can actually guide them to success, whether it's training, whether it's tactics, whether even just like anímicamente, like, I haven't really, from the coaches I've seen in the teams that I followed, it's always been the coaches that have been successful. They somehow they have this connection with the players. They have this way to, the reason why it worked out is because there was just something there between the players and the coach that helped them become who they were, winning those championships. And I think, here we don't have that.
Yeah.
And here we don't have, Josh Wolf is not a coach that really brings players under his wing. He's just more like a coach that you got to be ready. And if not, you're not ready, you're not part of the system, it's not going to work out.
Right. Like Kip Keller, he booted him to ConnAustin FC II, which I get it. I mean, I get it, but Kip Keller also is very young, so I feel he is also the type of player that you kind of need to take him under the wing and
He's got room to grow
and not yell at him.
Yeah.
Like some players just like, fix it. You blah, blah, blah. You're yelling at him.
Yeah.
But Josh Wolf, I think just the lack of experience that he hasn't had, the fact that Claudio Reyna is not as involved, but I don't know how much involved he is now still with the team. I don't know what he's doing, honestly.
Yeah. It's a big cloud over our team for sure.
And the fact that no offense to Julio Cascante, but the fact that the team signed someone who's gotten, 14 minutes, 15 minutes and extended his contract, that doesn't happen. Like, how are you going to give me a promotion when I haven't even done? I'm not saying he hasn't done anything, but the past, as Josh Wolf said, the past is the past. Last season was last season. First, obviously.
Yeah. Who's to say he's going to come back at that level or better? You know what I mean? Who knows?
And the thing for me is, why do you give an extension to a player that honestly, I don't think anybody else is chasing them besides, us saving his career from going to the USL. I mean, no es un jugador que digas que no, si sabes que tienes que asegurarlo. I understand Rusi, Fagundes, it was more of a force type of thing, but Cascante.
I think Fagundes was merecido, honestly. He carried the team the first season.
Fue merecido por las formas. It was very forced. Like, you don't have, like, and I think Jorge made a good point. You don't have Josh Wolf in the picture or the presentation when Fagundes got his contract. And it's just one of those that you have Josh Wolf with Cascante, why do an extension around this time where the focus should be in the pitch,
When
in the training.
the season is literally going
Yeah.
down and down. They're going down and down on the Western Conference table. But my bad, you were gonna say
No,
something.
I was gonna say that I think looking at this, there's a lack of leadership at pretty much all levels of the
On
the
pitch.
Austin FC org,
Mm.
starting with obviously Josh Wolf, who I think I agree he bears the brunt of the responsibility. But touching on your point, Richie, he doesn't strike me as a type of leader who, when his players are struggling or going through a bad moment, necessarily 100% defending them, but also when things are going good, like to me, a good leader when things are going bad, you take responsibility for it, you show face for it,
Mm.
and when things are going good, you direct the credit to your squad, to your assistants, to your helpers. Like that to me is a sign of a good leader. And when things have been going wrong this season, Josh Wolf hasn't necessarily been that type of leader who self-reflects and realizes like personal responsibility in the failures of the team. And kind of going back to the leadership in the field, with the whole situation of Sebastian Driussi getting the captain ban and the way in which that happened and the way it was taken away from Ring, it created a situation in the field and in the locker room that who is a true leader amongst the players.
Yeah.
And if it's Driussi, does he have as much command of everyone there, knowing that there's potentially a language barrier, knowing that he's not the most outspoken or he lets more of his actions speak for him than his actual words.
Right.
So yeah, like I see different segments of, and then we spoke a little bit on the Claudio Reina situation, he used to be like the sporting director, right?
Mhm.
So now he's not there. So like
But Rubio's there, right?
Rubio's there.
But I don't even.
But
I don't know.
Yeah, it is like what's
to what
experience?
capacity?
Yeah.
To what experience? Like is Reina still involved under pulling some strings? So like does that undermine Rubio? So like at all these levels, there's a sense of kind of questioning in my mind of where is the leadership? Like who is the one that's actually stepping up and trying to re-guide the ship?
And honestly, I think if Ring wasn't going to have the captaincy, then it should have been Brad Stuber, in my opinion.
Mm.
You should
That's
have given it to Brad Stuber. You shouldn't have given to Driussi. Nothing against Driussi. He is a leader, but he's the leader that you need on the pitch is the leader that isn't scared or isn't shy to talk to your teammates and be like, "Orale, like, come on, guys,
Yeah.
like, let's go." Just how I'm not a leader of managing a team, like, for example, like a group of people, like, this is what you need to do. I hate telling people what to do because I don't want them to get offended. I don't want them to get their feelings hurt that you're not doing right. That's just the type of leader that I am. And I feel like that's probably kind of like the leader that he is. He's so respectful that he doesn't want to tell you kind of how to do your job, in a sense. I feel like Josh Wolf also, going back to him, they had 2 weeks off. And, like Jorge said, they went traveling. And that's great. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. But, you're in regular season. Like, you're supposed to be out there hustling, grinding.
That's the one thing that I understand. You want to take a break, right? But take a break, not. I mean, so you're in a season, like you're saying. You're not like off season or fecha FIFA when estás. Bye week doesn't mean take the whole weekend off. It means reassess, like focus on training,
Right.
planea un amistoso con un equipo,
Right.
something. It's not just. It would have been a perfect scenario to have a friendly game
Yep.
on a Friday. I mean, on Sunday or whatever. Like Thursday.
So what's the situation that some where players just allowed to travel and take leave?
Some players
Yeah,
did.
some players
wow.
travel. So like
I
you
wasn't
had,
aware of that.
you had some players in
It's not a good
Vegas,
look.
some players in Europe.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Damn.
And it's not
But
like
they weren't like going
they
hard.
weren't going, but
They
it's just
were-
like-
but they were traveling. They
They
were
were
having a good
traveling.
time.
Yeah.
But I think when you're in the season in the bye week, man, for me is bye week means
I think these
You know.
guys are way too relaxed. It's like me,
Yeah.
if I were to get a communication assistant job, I'd just be like, okay, and this person said this and this and this. And so como que I don't feel the pressure, but say I'm like I have heat and I'm the manager. Ándale, I need to make things work because if not, I'm going to get fired because I'm getting paid all this money. So I feel like there's no pressure coming, not even from the fans. And it's kind of sad.
We'll see this Saturday how everything plays out. However, going back to, he talked about the process and trusting his process. Do you guys think trusting the process would be beneficial or would actually be harmful at this point? If, for example, we're in the middle of the season and we're still in this situation where, we have negative goals, differential, and we're scratching playoffs. Like, do you guys think trusting the process is still good, or should we reassess? And you know what? It's time to do a clean, like una donde se van Reina, se va Wolf, y se van todos, and you bring a new team, like not just a new coach, but a new team.
Wow, no, man, I think
I don't
it's
know if
it's
that's
too
ever
early.
gonna
It's too
happen.
early to say for that. Like, I think that would be
Like, if
kinda
it was like
jumping the gun.
mid season.
A complete gut of the team, leadership and players, to me seems overboard. But in terms of trusting process, there's one way of trusting process that is rigid, which seems to be what Josh Wolf has. It's pretty rigid. He has tried every player at his disposal, maybe not to our liking of who should be there. Whether we're talking about up top with Fagundes and Rigoni or Zardes or Urruti, what have you, whatever. Everybody has their preferred formation, right? But
Right.
you can't say Josh Wolf hasn't tried every single player to some extent. So that to me tells you that the process you're trusting, the scheme, the formula that you have is not working with the pieces that you have. So maybe you have to change the formula. So the process shouldn't be as rigid. I think it should be, you should recalibrate based on the lessons that you're learning week in and week out. You've tried. We're limited in the back, obviously, but up front we have options that we've all tried in a certain way, but those aren't working either. So like, I think that the scheme has to be relooked and recalibrated, and that has to be part of the process. The process can't be rigid. Like, I think that's what's killing a lot of football teams worldwide when they're too rigid, when they're stuck in this rigid process of what they're trying to do. The players aren't getting it. Teams know what they're trying to do. They know how to play us. They know how to press against us, cover spaces.
Yep.
And we look ineffective. We're just passing laterally and backward and not doing much. Like, we literally have moments where we have possession of the ball, but we do absolutely nothing with it.
Like you said, now it's time for to be more direct, to be more possession based, to really just go back to maybe it's a rough patch that we just need to get over, but it's just a lot of things are
and maybe we're not meant to play this beautiful football with the players that we have. Maybe we're meant to play an ugly football where it's just like we're gonna defend, and we're gonna defend well, and then we're gonna hit you with a counter. I don't know, but something that is not necessarily as attractive, as beautiful as it is now, or as they're trying to make it. Maybe that's something that we should start thinking about at some point, because the results are not trending well. So now every opponent that we have, no matter where they are in the table, after not being able to get past Violet, I'm like, well, we might lose this game.
That's a bad bad thing. Like, just to feel like you don't have, like, no matter who you play now, no sabes si les vas a poder ganar or no.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think that's just like a low blow. And I want to go back to the Violet really quick. We had something in mind before.
Yeah, you're talking about this process. I mean, if you look at his track record, said the same thing in season 1, said the same thing in season 2. Things weren't going. If you recall, there was a lot of fans, like you were talking about the formations, people questioning all that. You know who saved that? Sebastian Driussi. He saved Wolf's process, and he got lucky. All right. And now you're in a situation early on where your CB gets injured, right? So you drop Ring back. Okay, I get that. But if you're talking about you need to trust the process, then he should also trust Kip Keller, trust Amro, because that's his the person that they got, right? To as a free agent, or I don't know if he was free, but anyways, that's who they got to cover the, center back. Once Romania left, all that, right? I think that if, when you say that, then you should walk the walk. Like he shouldn't have, he could still call Keller and could be like, hey, come, but I don't see that happening.
At least in the bench.
Right. And honestly, I think that the reason they're doing so bad too is because Ring's playing center back.
Yeah.
He's not, in this game, he should have just played with 3 defenders. He should have put Ring with Pereira, and he should have benched his son. I'm sorry. I mean, if you're wanting things to work out like they did last season, Ring was there. He was involved in all that.
Yeah.
You need to trust it. And I'm sure that he would fall back when he needed to, but he needs to trust his defense too. And if you want to put someone else in there, great. But I don't know. I just think that obviously he also needs to experiment as much as he can. And people may disagree with me, but I just think that keeping Ring there, giving him that responsibility to be that center back when he doesn't even, he's getting tired and stuff. Like, not that that's an excuse, but that's just not his position. And I know that, as a player, you're supposed to play any position, right? That you're being put on. But I think that at least with the LAFC game, he should have put in him there. And then if he wanted to put Little Wolf in, then told him to drop back. I don't know. I mean, the guy could still play. He could play all game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just, there's, if you're going to trust the process, if he's saying this, then you should also kind of like walk the walk in a sense, you know?
If you want your players to trust the process, you have to trust your players.
Right.
Yeah. That's well said.
I was in the LAFC's press conference after the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about joining our press conference, but I was like, man, I want to hear what everybody says about, like, what they say about us, especially a team like LAFC.
Mm-hmm.
What are their thoughts on us, and actually asking them questions from our trench into their space. And thank you for allowing me to ask questions. Basically, my summary.
That clip we could have.
Oh, I'm gonna put it in, but basically, Cherundolo just said what we did was let him have the ball for 20 minutes, score a goal, and then take away the ball. That's all he said. I mean, he went about the game and everything, but that's what I got. Summary, pretty summarized explanation. And then Maldonado, who was a new defender, con este Chiellini, he pretty much asked him like, "Hey, did you know?" I didn't ask Cherundolo that question. He just talked through his statement as they were asking him questions. But then through the I asked Maldonado like, "Hey, what did you know Austin FC was going through defensive problems?" And he said, "No, we just read the game. Like, we just read the game, and when we decided to make changes as the way the game went, and then I asked him like, for the success that you guys been having, when did you guys start planning your season? Like, was it right before this preseason started?" And he said, "Honestly, we take it day by day, but we take every single game, every single team serious, and we want to win every single game, no matter who." That was literally him saying like, and I think we're all gonna hear it over and over from other teams. No nos van a restregar en la cara de que Violet is the one that we didn't, we disrespected, and now we're paying for that sin or whatever.
That's a big truth pill to swallow.
Big truth pill to swallow. And
sure.
I was like, damn. And I was like, ooh, that hurt. And I kept my composure. I was like, God damn. I mean, I was so mad at Wolf at that moment. And then I got to ask, ¿cómo se llama? Buanga.
Mm-hmm.
I asked him, No, Boanga was the one that asked about the defense, and he just said, "You know what? I just read the team, and I knew what I can do, everything from the outside, and then coming in."
It's easy.
Yeah,
you
and
can read it.
Yeah, and then Maldonado is the one that pretty much just said, "We just take it day by day, and we want to win." And asked him like, what was something different that you noticed? You're playing against an offense that was pretty successful last year. He's like, just close them down.
Mm-hmm.
If they have the ball, close them down. Don't let them come through, and that's about it.
And that's Driussi.
Yeah.
By close them down, he means Driussi.
Yeah, and
right?
he's like, you don't.
No lo dejes que haga nada y ya.
Yeah, and I was like, damn.
That's the
man.
one guy you got to worry about.
That one guy, and he's like, and then for them it was like, once you close them down, no van a hacer nada.
No van a hacer nada. Right.
And I was like, fuck, man. After that, it's like, we have a lot of work to do here. I was like, and I really thought, maybe with LAFC, como que iba a haber un respeto de que nos íbamos a romper la madre con ellos. We can have a shitty season,
like,
pero que,
even if it would have been like a result that was not favorable, we would at least had a fighting chance.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
But it wasn't that.
Yeah, it was just, 20 minutes in after the goal, just la moral se bajó.
Yeah.
Man, we just need, we need work, we need luck, we need everything that can come that it's good vibes because shit is not hitting well.
Well, I'll be honest with you, man. When we were doing predictions last week and everybody was like,
3-2.
Loss.
Yeah.
I didn't want to just make it all loss.
He said I was lying.
No, I was.
I love that.
Not to save my face or anything. It's just like we were also pretty negative on like what we thought would happen, rightly so. And I was just like, you know what? Let me be the last strain of optimism here. You know what? Tie 2-2. But nothing like that. Nothing like that at all.
Something's not clicking.
Something's not clicking. Yeah.
It needs to click. Like, it needs to click because at the end of the day,
and this hurts. And
it
you know,
hurts.
when it doesn't, and by I mean it hurts the fans, it hurts the pockets of the owners.
Yeah.
It's going to hurt in
yeah.
the long run, you know?
And
so
there's some people talking, screaming like, oh, this is too early to panic. There's still a lot of football to play.
No, you got to panic.
True. There's a lot of football to be played.
have you not seen bad teams play? You know what I mean? Like, they don't progress. Yeah, no. Es como las Chivas.
Oh, shit! Come on, we're not that down.
We're como Cruz Azul.
No, we're up there.
Porque mis aguilitas le ganaron al Monterrey.
We don't gotta pull up the Liga next summer.
No, I'm just kidding.
But no, what I was saying, I think the team would benefit from like a true like come to Jesus. Like, all right, we're gonna have everybody, the entire team, like, and we're just gonna fucking talk. You know?
Les voy a llevar una señora de North Lamar que les haga una limpia.
Un sobador, un masajista.
We're gonna fucking talk. There's gonna be food coming in, so we don't have no reason to leave. We're just we're gonna figure something out.
What the fuck?
Before we leave this room or wherever they meet, we have to figure out how to move forward.
Kind of like those talks that we had, in the summer and all those type of talks. We need boxing gloves.
Something, dude, something.
But,
hey, and maybe boxing gloves. Like there's that one village in what is it, South America that once a year
in Peru.
Bolivia, que se dan.
Hey, you know what? I would like to see, like,
is it the first of the year?
No, but basically it would just be like everybody against Josh Wolf.
So
todos los de la banca.
So it's basically everybody has a chance to fight anybody they've had beef with in their little village.
That's funny.
For one day. Violence is allowed, but then after that,
they're all cool.
Everybody goes to drink and has a big feast, and they're all bloody and stuff.
Wow,
perfect.
Maybe that's what we need.
So, which if there was like, there's gonna be a chance for 3 rounds, like 3 fights, who do you think is gonna go in that? Like,
I'm not even gonna go there.
She's not gonna entertain that.
No.
That scum.
I mean, it's just like for fun. This is more like a fun.
Blocked.
No, this is more like a fun type of thing. There's no problem. Like, it's just like our thing. Like, based on sizes, based on what. De repente, este güey le mete un trancazo y sienta el más grandote.
I feel like Alex Ring would win.
You think Alex Ring will win?
He seems like he's scrappy.
He's like a Viking.
Yeah.
And Nick Lima probably. I don't know.
Nick Lima's like really young.
I don't know, man. I think Nick Lima and Alex Ring will be the final for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all remember LAFC Austin here at Q2? Remember how they pushed like Fagundes? And so.
Oh, and he ran up.
Yeah.
I do want to see like a triple threat match. Todos contra todos.
Tables, ladders, chairs.
Table, ladder, chair. A 4-way match between Rigoni, Urruti, Driussi, and Fagu. It would be cool to just see them, you know.
What? They're
But-
all
but-
homies.
But then you would have Fagu coming out with a Rey Mysterio mask.
Oh, that's a good comparison.
And then-
Fagu to Rey Mysterio.
And then you will have Urruti just with like doing the Triple H como con su
Oh,
con su you know, like spitting the water. You will have like the longest entrance. It will be Driussi, and Rigoni will be like the heel that gets booed by everyone, and then Rigoni wins.
Who was your favorite wrestler growing up?
Mine, La Parca.
La
I mean, he
Parca?
wasn't the best, but he was the funniest.
I didn't have a wrestler. I didn't really.
You didn't
watch
really
wrestling.
entertain
I'm
such
sorry.
low form of entertainment for me.
Nope.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Stone Cold.
I know who he is though.
Yeah.
Isn't he from Austin?
The
No, he
Texas
is not from
rattlesnake.
Austin.
He's
Yeah,
from
I forgot who's here.
he's from Texas, but I don't know which
I
one. A lot
forgot.
of the wrestlers are from Texas.
Surprisingly progressive. Like
Who? Stone Cold?
Stone Cold, yeah.
Man, that dude was calling out Obama like 2012, saying he would change Obama.
Oh.
We'll talk about this later. Sorry, man. Wild
Nah,
tangent,
dude, it's your
wild
last
tangent.
episode. We got to talk about it.
But yeah, like what I was trying to get at is that now,
For those who
like,
don't know, your last episode.
yes, for those who don't know, today is my farewell episode, which is why Richie has given me this like
In the hot seat.
central focus. I'm not used to being front and center, but you know, it's
Te
a
voy a
bit.
arreglar el pelo. Espérate que lo
Damn.
desacomodaste.
Hey, I have like the best treatment on my last
I
episode.
know, dude.
Hey,
Sorry, I'm a
but
girl.
next week when I try to get back into the premises, my key card won't work. It'll be like that meme.
Yep.
Like that. Who was it? Who did a meme on the Eagles player? They were like, "That's Amro Tarek at the St. David's."
Basically, that's gonna be me trying to come back to Otra.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet, but let's make it a good one.
You're gonna have nephew over here in the seat. You might not. Now it's late. It was your turn to figure out what we're gonna do. But good stuff coming though.
Yes, sir.
Regardless, what's gonna happen, whether you were here or not.
Always good stuff, man.
Yeah,
I'm
but-
excited to see in what directions this media grows, man.
Thank you,
You've
man.
done an amazing job.
Before we go into that, let's let's actually go on a bit of a high note. Connally,
Mhm.
they took state or district.
They're playing state this Thursday in Georgetown. So you guys, if this episode drops on Thursday, it's going to be tonight at 7:30. They play against. Oh my God, se me fue. It's because they're not supported. Right, they
Stony?
play state.
Oh, that's-
No. It's not Stony. It's
Oh.
like Lone Star or something.
Mm.
I don't even know. But they play in Georgetown. I mean, it's just been a long time since they've gone to state. Those kids are playing their hearts out for obvious reasons. Austin has a pro team. I'm sure a lot of them, want to get highlighted and seen.
Mhm.
So hopefully people go out and cheer them on. I don't know if players would go. I mean, they have enough time in their hands, so
Mm.
they could go and see some good soccer.
Good soccer.
I'm just kidding.
Hey, talking
I'm
about
just
not wanting to get
kidding.
blocked. Yeah,
Yeah,
all the
that was
friendship
too
that
much. That
you
was
know
too
what?
much.
The one person that Jorge Durrell said that they follow, yeah. Here it goes.
Oh yeah, I'm hanging out with Jorge too much. I apologize. No,
It's good. It's good.
No, it's my I went to Connally High School, so I have a soft
Yeah.
spot for them.
All right on.
So I played soccer over there. Coach Ford is
Center
still-
back.
I played defense, but they also put me on the wing.
Oh, you're a winger too.
Yeah,
Nice.
I don't know why. I'm not that fast, but
Yeah.
but then
Too
and
much
then-
running for me.
Yeah. And then
That's sad.
sometimes they would like tell me to go, play forward. So I was all over the place.
Man, you're a jack of all
but,
trades.
yeah,
You're everywhere.
Yeah, I'm like Alex Ring,
There
but
we go.
just not goalie because I really sucked. I'm
See?
like, my face.
Or like your pinky.
Yeah, my nail.
The nail.
Richie,
but,
what
but yeah.
positions you like to play?
The
You're-
regional
I
champs,
played
by the way.
everything.
This guy's kind of everywhere.
Yeah, I don't. No soy bueno para nada, pero ahí estoy.
Está cabrón.
Basically,
Yeah.
like I'm just like
He's
whatever
a
you.
ladies' man.
Yeah, I would
If you
say.
ever play against
I would
Richie when he chooses to do man or woman coverage on you, like straight up, like he will not even let you breathe. Like he's on top of you the whole time.
Oh, I'd be like, you need to back up.
Like one time, he literally,
That's so
I think he literally jumped on me, and I had to run around with Richie on my back.
Oh yeah, basically, because he was not letting me go. It was cozy, but I basically was marking him. We were like, man, he's gonna score, so I just like jumped on his back.
That's so funny.
Last resort.
Hey man, I'll carry you on my back any day.
I know.
But shout out to Connally, man.
Yeah,
That's good. That's best of
they're
luck.
right up the street.
Best of luck.
Best of luck to them. Those kids are playing good.
Hell yeah.
I mean, they've been winning by 3 goals,
Saludos,
4-goal
Connally.
margin. So
That's awesome.
they're doing good, and I'm excited for them.
I'm glad. I think looking at the youth, you know, like whether it's the academies, the ConnAustin FC II,
That's the bright spot.
the bright spots.
It's
like
the
say,
bright spot. We have in all this darkness, there's a
some
bright
brightness.
future out there.
And I like it. Like, so ConnAustin FC II, we get a chance to cover it on Friday. They played the Tacoma Defiance.
Mm-hmm.
They came back 2-1. Esos chavos tienen ganas. And Kip Keller started the game. I would say ConnAustin FC II saved his career. Like, if it was, you know, like not this team was not existing, I would for sure maybe see him drop to the USL. But I think him being in this team was like the best move for him because, man, he's playing with players that, you know, somehow they have formation, you know, from academies or from Fuerzas Básicas. So he's known how to play as a team player with players that have been playing sort of in a professional setting outside of college.
Right. I mean, yeah.
And it's good for me is the draft that they do. This should be for players to go to the MLS next and then move them up once they're tested in the battlefield in there. Because if you're trying to put a player from, you know, UCLA in a Q2, puede que se o lo rompe o lo hace. Muchas veces no todos se rompen y no mucho se hace.
Right. I mean, it's, you know, 1 in a million type of thing, unless you're that great. But yeah, I mean, these kids coming out of college, expected to play at a professional level, you know, with the first team. I mean, those expectations are high. And he obviously didn't get those minutes when he was in the first team. And then he gets minutes and he makes one of the biggest mistakes. But you talk about going to the USL. I mean, Jared Stroud went there and look at him now. Flourishing.
Stroudy.
Yeah, and this player que se la rifó, you know, like sometimes.
Right. And he got minutes. I mean, and he was able to probably like progress his game in that league. And it's a good league and it's a competitive league. I mean, hopefully we have Sonny here and he can definitely talk about that. And, you know, not to knock on them in a way, not that you are, but I'm just saying like, you know, those guys definitely have quality and what.
Exactly. Because you're playing players that, you know.
They're best.
They're veterans, they're professionals, they're young.
Right.
You have
Some
a mix of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And like MLS Pro, like Next Pro is more young guys.
More young, academy type
man,
of guys.
it's good. Like, and it's one thing to see is 3 Mexican players killing it with our jersey. That was the best thing. We got a follow from Cristo Vela and shots with Richie. So hell yeah.
Nice.
I told you he was a good kid, just like his dad, just like, I mean, his uncle, a little, he says a little controversial, but they say how they see it, and I'm happy for him. He got his first goal with us.
He had himself a game.
He was looking for the whole.
Told you,
he was looking for it. He was looking for that. Ochoa también jugó bien en la banda izquierda. Alfonso Ramírez, ese chavo, para mí,
my God.
Si lo cuidas, Josh Wolf, please pay attention to this kid.
ConnAustin FC, anyone.
Because I feel like this kid right here can help us in the midfield, like along the way.
Yeah,
you know, I really honestly think Ramírez is way better
He's
than
the
Valencia.
number 10, right?
He's yeah. And then he's, I mean, I don't want to diss Valencia, but this kid can play way better than Valencia. But then again, it's a different setting, you know. Players are younger.
He hasn't been tested.
It hasn't been tested at the highest level. Pero se ve que tiene algo más que un jugador que de muchos de los que tenemos
Tiene
ahorita.
mucha técnica.
Bastante.
Esos chavos, o sea, lo que también les vela, I mean, you can see la técnica que tiene, cómo mueve la pelota. No sé, eso se aprende en otros barrios.
And the cool thing is, after they scored and the winning goal, they were celebrating. They got in front of the camera and they're like, "Pa la derecha," and I knew what they were gonna do, and they did a little dance. So, thank you guys. If you're
What's that
listening
little
to
They
dance?
did a little dance.
yeah, I'll share the dance and whenever I release the episode.
But what does it mean?
No, es como un bailecito como tipo cumbia, una tipo cumbia más o menos.
Ah, okay.
It was
Oh,
it was
wow.
funny, like it was
Yeah,
fun.
it was
I'll
good.
share it. But man, so my way is like, you know what? How can I hype up our big guys? Just do this guy. Se les puso una cumbia sonidera in the background. Man, that was like
That's
perfect.
So funny. That's cool.
It's good. I think we needed that. That the fans somehow felt like there's some heartbeat, fresh blood, fresh like an oxygen tank just came in. But it feels good to see them.
Were any players from the first team there? Like,
From the first team, our first team?
Yeah.
No, because they were in LA. They were on the way to LA.
oh, that's right, because the game was Saturday and that was
yeah.
Friday.
They were I think the players left around 2:00 from here to LA. So now, but I think as the season goes on, we'll probably see some of the players in there. And it'll be good for the players to show up. I think overall, si llegas como jugador profesional de la primera a un equipo de reservas, I think your reserva is going to feel supported, but also you're going to maybe just not think of the team, what's going on right now, and actually feed off the energy
Right.
of the team wins.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I feel like the moment that our Austin FC II squad is going through is like, if I were a first team player going to see the type of results they're pulling off, it would kind of remind me of why we do this.
Actually,
I was a kid.
Yeah.
when I was a kid, yeah.
Exactly.
And last, el portero, he came by, he said hi. And
I
actually,
thought you were like last.
Last.
Damien last. Yeah.
Damien last. And his parents actually, I took a picture of him and I'm going to give it to him. I just
Aw,
completely forgot about it.
that's sweet.
But yeah, I was talking to them, they're Poland, they're Polish. So it was cool. Like,
yeah.
it was a different, like, it's like a pretty cool thing. Like, it was like, it felt like, okay, out of all the stuff that has been going on that hasn't worked out, like, it just felt good to be there, hanging out with everyone, the players, celebrating with the fans. Like, I mean, these guys are young and
Well, it's like Friday night lights.
Friday Night Lights, yeah. Basically,
Like,
yeah.
Honestly, like it's just, and that's how it felt. That's why the first game felt the way it felt. Like if I was like going back to high school and going on a little, back in the day type of thing where you would watch your local high school play whatever. But yeah, it's a cute little environment. Definitely, like Austin definitely is more of a family city, and that's definitely a thing if you were to have kiddos to go see.
You know what?
Blah, blah, blah.
The price point is actually
Is
one of the
$10,
greatest things
yeah.
too.
Right.
The type of environment it caters to. That's
Like-
that's something that you've touched on other episodes. Like, are we pricing communities out at Q2?
Right.
Which we are.
We are.
Yeah.
That's
For
what,
sure.
That's what we're doing. But
But
Austin FC
hopefully they could go to
has
Austin
been-
FC.
has
Yeah.
some type of avenue
Yeah.
for seeing professional football to some
And I
capacity.
assume it was an
And
S-Pact.
that it was actually about maybe 80%.
Yeah, my view was like people in front of
Yeah,
me.
no,
I
there
was
was
like,
it wasn't as
"Come
packed
on,
for sure because
guys."
it was raining, it was cold. But you're right about that because one of my friends that I played in a band with, he actually brought his kids, and I'm like, I can't bring them to every game here, but I can bring them here, and they feel like more close to it. And
Yeah.
I'm talking about like, it feels good
Yeah.
to see like those kids,
Right.
are like pretty close to it, and same jersey,
They have
uh,
something that we didn't have, at least if you're from here growing up, where I didn't. I mean, I had my local high school, but
Yeah.
we weren't stars. But
yeah.
they have, local little kids where they can dream and be like, oh man, I'm going to try my best. And, maybe I could try out one day. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, y te voy a ponerte las pilas, like whatever dream you want to follow as a kid, like,
Right.
it's like, a huevo.
Yeah, pues sí.
And then like going now younger, the Austin FC U15 Academy took the
That's
Adidas
right.
Generations Cup in
Wow.
Florida.
It's a
Yeah.
good ship.
Yeah, I so I really didn't watch. I watched part of the final and then the penalties.
Mm-hmm.
but apparently they went to a couple of phases where they had to play penalty kicks.
Yep.
It was a long penalty shootout,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
and then it was cool because one of my friends, Rigo, shout out, he called me like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Echando la hueva," like, "Vente a echar la hueva conmigo." So we went to the airport.
Cabrón, yo pensé que te iba a decir, vente acá a acostar conmigo.
Oh, damn, Rigo. Hey, man.
I'm
Rigo
just
shooting his
kidding.
shot.
Hey, you
se
gotta
está
shoot your
juntando.
shot.
Hey,
Not
Michelle se está
somebody's
juntando con
gonna do it for
nosotros. Yeah, there we go. That's other four vibes.
I thought about Jorge. What would Jorge Iturralde say?
Oh, man.
Cabrón.
That usually gets you in trouble.
I'm just kidding.
But,
I'm just kidding. No,
so you went to the airport with Rigo?
Yeah, we went to the airport to celebrate receive
to receive the kids. Oh, that's
and
nice.
Yeah, I saw
it was cool. I like took pictures like of them celebrating.
Heroes
Cantando
welcome.
todos. Man, it was
Aw,
beautiful. It was
sweet.
beautiful. The coaches were also very like appreciative,
Yeah.
and they actually sung a song for La Murga, like "We love Murga, yes we do," and all that stuff. Because the Murga's been to several of the games in the
Right.
That's right.
past, so good shit, like good. And like in the midst of everything, like the future is bright,
It's so wholesome. That's so wholesome.
wholesome. So yeah, I know, and it started with sort of a like the soccer part with Austin FC and a low note, but aquí we want to lift everybody up.
It's important to cling onto these like, positive notes amongst like a season that is looking to be so far disappointing and doesn't show signs of reanimating into something more. So that's cool, man. I'm glad you were a part of that. I'm glad you received those kids, and it's so cool that that they feel that love and they kind of show it back.
Yep.
And what you were touching on earlier about how there was 3 Mexicanos on the Austin FC 2 team, like that type of stuff. We talk about it. Why do we do it? Because representation, like it matters a lot. It matters so much, especially to our local youth. That look like us. So when they see someone rompiéndola, doing well, or playing at a high level, they envision themselves like, I can do it too.
And one thing is for me is the marketing stuff that Austin FC does is great. That I'm not gonna question it. The videos they put out is world class. I think we have the best marketing team in the nation. We can beat the shit out of anyone. Not literally, but like saying in the stands chanting. We can go toe to toe with La 32-52, Verdes and La Murga. But if there was something that that was not clicking, it was just the Mexican part of the La Raza aquí in Austin.
Right.
But then you have a team that takes a bunch of appropriation from your culture to implement it in your team. And then you're not really having a guy in the pitch that can represent them or in the field. It doesn't have to be un jugador mediático. It doesn't have to be a Héctor Herrera, a Chicharito. Just one player that can everybody like, you know what? Ese vato lo conozco, jugó, salió de Sinaloa o salió de Michoacán, salió de Guadalajara. So when you don't have that, you're going to have disconnection. You're going to have la raza no llegando a ver los equipos, el equipo jugar. It's just going to be, and I'm not saying like, say, for example, like I believe, we should aim more to, build a team based on how the city looks. Because if you look at it, like for me personally, the team that we have now, it does not really look like the city that we have. Some players have adapted to it. Some players are part of it. But we don't have in a team now, it doesn't seem like there's anything Austin related in the pitch.
Yeah. I mean, yes, I agree with you. I do want to give a shout out to Jose Pablo Covarrubias. I hope I'm saying that right.
Covarrubias.
Okay, thank you. He's actually a St. Edward's former soccer player. But I think he's from Mexico, or he has roots in Mexico. So I've talked to him maybe once or twice to do like any media stuff. But obviously we have to go through PR and all that. But he was one of the coaches that was part of the U15 win. So a big shout out.
That's
but
good.
talking about inclusivity, yeah, I actually went to the U.S. Women's National.
Oh, tell us about it.
Right. It was fun. It was exciting.
Yeah.
You know, for
best team in the world.
well, I mean, I don't. Yeah, sure. Four times champs. Yeah.
Pero la jugadora que se lesionó.
Yeah,
Ooh.
but then they called the. Oh my God, what's her name? I forgot her name, but she's playing. She got in Los Angeles. She plays for the NWSL over there. She's Ashley. I forgot her name. Anyways, so she's been called up. So I'm super excited to see her. I think she's gonna be a very fantastic player.
Oh, like the young player.
The young, not the 15-year-old, but one of the younger one. I mean, she is young.
No.
Anyways, but during the broadcast, you know, talking about inclusivity. I mean, and Ashley Sanchez, who plays for Washington Spirit, plays also for the national team, and she has roots from Mexico. And just hearing Sanchez, you know, over the PA, it's just, I was like, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
no, but I just felt like, you know, it was a moment like, oh my God, like I felt represented, and I'm not obviously not going to play professionally, but that's the importance of being more inclusive and, you know, inspiring the younger generation that they can one day play for the U.S. Women's National Team if they want to, you know. So I just thought that was a little talk going along those lines that you're talking about. It was a perfect example.
And speaking of women's soccer, Austin FC, Austin Rice, they already released a schedule.
Yeah.
The preseason starts in May 28th.
Yep.
Coach Les is going to be in a podcast.
Oh, I love her.
May 22nd.
Oh, yeah.
So we just locked that down. They're going to bring someone else, but yeah, we're going to be showing some support and love.
She has an amazing story.
Yeah.
She's really good friends with Emma Hayes. If you don't know who Emma Hayes is, you're not watching women's soccer.
I need to. I need to because estoy perdido.
Oh, Emma Hayes. She's the baller. Chelsea, a women's soccer team. They're playing in the Champions League against Barcelona. I mean, she's done such a tremendous job with, you know, at a club level and, you know, a coach internationally. Like so she's really good friends with Coach Lessa. She started her career in Chicago. So I'll let her. But I was just like, wow, like she has a story to tell.
That's great, man. That you like that down.
Yeah, that was
that episode.
You know, that was a lockdown. It was pretty cool. And then the last one, like say in the Austin part soccer, the NSWO, the new women's team.
Oh, USLW.
USLW.
Yeah. So it's for now. I think they have just Austin Women's ATX Women's Soccer Club, something like that. So they are also going to be the first club in Texas to play for that league. And so I actually had a conversation with them as well. And they're going to have more of a, you know, the team is going to be for women in college and women who want to be professional or, you know, play professionally, excuse me. And so it's going to be very interesting. And, you know, I'm also trying to work on someone to come to explain a little bit more, but they've been working. I talked to Calesa, I believe is her name, from Toluca FC, because she plays in Mexico. Okay. So all these girls are actually from Austin, and yeah, they're launching in 2024. So it's going to be fun to see. So 2 women's professionally, you know, playing.
That's amazing news.
It's gonna be. I would say the only way that this can work out is the support of the people, of course, as they come, but also the support of the brands that have the pockets, the brands that have the deep pockets that can put in money to support facilities. You know, anything that can do where the only thing that the staff has to worry about is just putting the game together.
Right.
But you can have people coming in like Lululemon, Alo Move, they're from New York.
Right.
Atleta, those, you know, like brands that are, you know, like more like for women to come in and actually pour money because, you know, I just feel, you know, like I don't want to like seeing what happened last year, it was just pretty sad, because
Well, it definitely has to be. I think the purpose of and we could talk about more on that, but yeah, it's going to be community driven. At
that's
least
good.
this new team, right? And I feel like women do a better job than men when it comes to not being so greedy. But that's not true. I could be that's stereotypical. That's stereotypical. Double standard. I'm just
I like planning. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. But no, that's good.
no, but
I'm excited for
yeah.
what's to come.
So yeah,
If Austin is get what Austin FC has showed, like the community's drive and support, not only to the men, like top men's team, but to all the kind of lower squads and younger squads, like has shown me is like that the community for supporting football is there, and I think that's going to roll over to women's teams here, just knowing the type of people that we know in those organizations, that they will definitely render any type of support to the women's team. So I don't know, yeah, like the community support, I can see it being there, but like Richie was saying, the stakeholders and whether the investment is there, and
right.
and that type of buy-in from like kind of these powerful deep pockets, that's the thing that I question, and that I hope they see the turnout that's community driven, like you said, and continue to feed this like ecosystem of soccer football here in our beautiful city. You know, multiple women's teams here is incredible. Multiple men's teams here is incredible. I think in that diversity of teams here, it'll just create a more rich soccer environment, and we can really start to focus on like that size in communities. Because one of the things that we talk about is like just how little soccer fields there are in town. I mean, that's just one little thing.
To go play somewhere, you gotta rent.
That's something that we talk about amongst ourselves as friends. Like, so where are we gonna play? Like, there's no grass where we play anymore. There's no lights. Like, we just play for fun. We just want to exercise. We just want to socialize. But that's just like a little aspect of where the city hasn't really backed soccer apart from these commercial avenues of Austin FC.
Right.
And I just hope that bringing in more teams can at least like make the city look at soccer as more of a something that they need to take seriously and invest on, and in infrastructure and facilities, and not just something that is a shiny little beacon of this is our professional team here and who cares about everything else.
Yeah, I think if you want to make this in true, soccer, like statement in soccer, it doesn't just start with. It's not just through the main team, through the big guys. It's what do you have in the community, and if you don't have anything in the community, but you have those guys, keep on, bringing in money from the community in their pockets, there's something that I hope changes. And then the best way, because I got a feeling like for me is there's so much talent in Austin that I'm pretty sure, like we don't have to go get players from unknown places, bring them here. It can be from here in Austin.
Right.
That's how I look at it.